Hi, this is Doug Ward from Tech Britain. We're here today with Michael Hayes in Glasgow. Thank you for your time. I should say our first port of call when we came to Glasgow was with yourself. When we were doing our research, we've seen you very active in the local community. Obviously, you're the organiser of Rookie Oven, which is a tech meetup, which we'll speak about shortly. You've just been involved with Startup Weekend Glasgow. And it's the first one in Scotland, which we'll speak about, and also the curator of Startup Digest. So, I mean, can we just first of all, and also your background in startups as well. So very, very active in the tech community.
Yeah.
So, first of all, Rookie Oven, how did that come about?
That started because I was doing a startup in 2010 as a safe social network for children called Dizio.com. First safe social network in the UK, but nobody knows about it because nobody used it. And our biggest failing in that was that we just didn't engage with our peers. We didn't really know they existed. And so when that failed, about a year ago from now, I decided to set up Rookie Oven and just get the technology enthusiasts and startup enthusiasts in Glasgow out talking. We might not be starting a company yet, we might have one already. Just come along, chat. There's no barrier to entry, there's no agenda. You just come, you talk startups, and I would say I think it's had a positive impact in the community just to have people talking about startups.
Absolutely, people we've spoken to are big fans of Rookie Oven.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about, sorry Michael, your background, what is your background?
Yeah, I was doing a computer science undergraduate, graduated in 2010, so I was doing Dizio at the same time I was studying. So pure science background, and startup founder of Dizio, and then been working through a few other startups since then. Now that takes me up to now. We're currently studying a master's degree as well, because ultimately I see myself moving away for this country, unfortunately. I think Glasgow's great, Scotland's brilliant, the UK, but yeah, the tech scene's just not where I wanted. The tech scene here isn't where I wanted to be.
And where would you be moving if you had to leave the UK?
That's a silly question.
Yeah, I think everybody's watching this who doesn't know where.
West Coast.
Right, okay. So, in terms of doing the Masters now, obviously, Startup Weekend. Perhaps we should speak about Startup Digest first. How did that come about?
Yeah, that was, again, well, it was kind of through chance that I was down in London, met the curator of the London version, Scott Allison. He's a Glaswegian, and he said, look, there should be one up in Scotland. So at the time I was working with a guy called Chris McCann, who isn't the Chris McCann who runs Startup Digest. There's two Chris McCanns that were involved, which is a bit confusing. And Chris dropped out of doing it, and he referred me on to doing it, because we were working together. He just passed it on, and I've been doing it since last October.
And how's that been?
Good. It's always growing. We're still a long way from London. London's up at over 3,000 sign-ups. We're well short of that, but it's always growing.
Good.
And again, hopefully it has a positive impact in the community. Because one of the problems I had, or do currently have, is I still don't know what's going on. And then to have a vocal point where you can say such and such an event's going, gets people out.
Hopefully Tech Britain's going to help contribute to that problem. But in terms of Startup Weekend, how did that come about? How was it? The whole thing.
So Startup Weekend kind of came about in the back of Startup Digest and Rookie Oven. So there was a girl Deborah, who works for Startup Weekend. She's a European facilitator. She'd studied up in Glasgow, loved the city, and thought, let's get one up there. So they tried to organise one a couple of years ago, and it didn't take off. So she tried to get it going again, and she approached me, I think, through Digest. So that was last October, so October 2011 we started doing that. And as I say, I'm doing my master's degree at the moment, so I said to them I'd organise it for the summer of 2012 in spring. And it was, it's been a long time planning. So with the start of it, I decided to build a good team which would be Jim Duffy from Entrepreneurial Spark, Gavin Robertson from OK My Way, Danny Helson from Mathematics Ventures, Alan Lloyd from Insight Arcade, Fiona Gosman from the SIE. So with that team, yeah, it was easy to pull off because they were fantastic. Informatics are a publicly funded body in Scotland to help tech startups and university spin-outs. They do an excellent job up here. SIE supports student entrepreneurs, so they were really good at getting the word out to the students, because I think it's important to encourage the next generation. Being a student myself.
Absolutely.
And other guys were really helpful. Good sounding boards, just great advice. And Jim, Entrepreneurial Spark, our hosts, they took a lot of pressure off by having such a fantastic facility down there.
Oh yeah. It was very intensive. I mean, I should say we were there at the event, and 54 hours and
No sleep.
Yeah. I mean, how much sleep did you have over the whole weekend?
Yeah, so that was the weekend just there, at 4 hours ish.
That's not per night. That's the whole.
The bags are under mine. So.
That's the whole weekend. I remember. So it's a Friday evening we started, and then Saturday Michael had 1 hour sleep, and he was giving talks to the teams. Some of them who haven't come across the Lean Startup by Eric Ries. I mean, it's like the Bible these days. It's just golden information, and we were just amazed that he was able to talk, let alone be educating the teams and really helping them, because they were struggling, and it's just great information for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, hopefully. And I was very sleep deprived at the time, so I hope it came across as intended. But
no, I can say we were there. It was a good talk.
Thanks,
yeah. And then the second night you had 3 hours sleep. Saturday night.
Yeah.
So by Sunday, I mean, you must have been.
That's up here we've got Iron Brew, so that fueled me. that kept me going.
Yeah. No. And if anybody's not been through Startup Weekend before, they've not been to one, what can they expect? I mean, what is Startup Weekend?
Yeah, so Startup Weekend, you get 54 hours. You come up the Friday night, pitch an idea. You don't have to pitch. You can just go to work, but you go pitch an idea, and then you just form teams after that. It's quite a ad hoc kind of natural process where you just kind of everybody groups together into really think the idea is that it's going to be the next big thing. And you form your teams, and then that's it. Bang, work on it. 54 hours. You work. Saturday's the main day for all the work. Friday night you get to know your team, because the team has a good mix. There's designers, developers, and non-technicals. So you get marketing, lawyers, accounts. Everything has to be considered. So Friday night's a wee bit wasted in that you're forming your team. Saturday you do a lot of the build, and Sunday you have to pitch again and show what you've done. So the Sunday you get all your prep done for your pitch, and Sunday night you pitch. So in Glasgow we had 65 attendees. Of them, 25 of them wanted to pitch an idea. We got that down to 11 teams. So on Sunday night, 11 teams pitched, and there were a load of prizes up for grabs for the best teams in various categories. And also, that's 11 new companies that Glasgow has.
From a weekend?
Just from a weekend. So
not a 6 months or 12 months, a weekend.
Yeah, you need sleep.
Yeah, and you just give across some of the websites. I mean, for Rookie Oven, first of all, where can viewers find that?
RookieOven.com.
Nice and simple.
Easy.
And what about the Startup Digest?
StartupDigest.com again, /Scotland for Scotland. But there's one for most cities across the world. Again, the one in London's great. There's one in Birmingham now as well. I think Cardiff has one. So they're always popping up. And if somebody wants to take one for their city, they should just get in touch with myself, or they can get in touch with the guys out there. It's based out in San Francisco. They're always looking to expand and get it into other cities.
And the Startup Weekend?
Startupweekend.org, it's not .com. They're again always looking to travel it across other cities, new places. This is the first one in Glasgow, but they're already looking to do one in Edinburgh. So they're always expanding. If you want to get involved with that, just drop them an email and just apply to do it for your city.
Fantastic. We're out on the streets today. We're at the university, and yeah, hence the casual kind of approach we're taking. But I think one big thing we're big on is changing the culture. I mean, from our standpoint, coming from outsiders looking in, the fact that someone like you is talking about leaving Glasgow is kind of alarm bells. There's the clock going off, so you can see we're not lying. This isn't a green room or anything like that. We're actually live. So, Michael, what's your thoughts on Glasgow's tech community?
It's a bit wasted. We are here in the grounds of Glasgow University. This university's been going from 18 ages ago. It's got a great history. There's also Strathclyde University, Glasgow Caledonian, University of West of Scotland. So all within 5 miles, there's 4 large education institutions. And yeah, the talent that they're drawing in, educating, pumping out, is just getting sucked up by London financial sector. It's getting wasted. Glasgow, I know from I studied at Strathclyde, and 95% of the year, at least I would say, are now down at a large financial job organisation. And
where's that, in London?
Yeah, mainly. It's hard to argue when you're getting big wage, big salary offered not to go, but there's very little to encourage people to stay. There's no stickiness. With that, the community that we have, the companies that are already here, they're sometimes a wee bit fragmented. We have some excellent companies, like Isotech. They do a gaming platform, Rubicon. They do a video sharing site, and yet a lot of them don't interact. There's no easy way for them. You can imagine in downtown San Francisco having a nice coffee in the street, and the founders walk by, and chance meetings just happen. Don't happen in Glasgow. So that is why your guild came about, to try and encourage people to get talking, because I mean, things happen so often just by chance, just bumping into someone, and to increase the chances of that, it would be great in Glasgow.
One thing I'd like to say for the viewers is, when we went over to Edinburgh and we were lucky enough to meet Gareth Williams at Skyscanner, told him about what you were doing in Glasgow, and straight away he put his money where his mouth was, said, what can I do to help? You know, and you know, he's someone that we're big fans of. You know, we think it's important that people get behind companies like Skyscanner because they are so involved in the tech community, but it's almost a shame that it's having to come from the companies rather than the government. Like you said, a lot of people we find don't get it. Don't get tech. And the culture, they don't look at the States.
I mean, Skyscanner, Edinburgh has bred a few successful companies. Skyscanner, Free Agent, and they just get it. They get how to do recruitment for startups. They fund meetups, they fund events. They were helping out at Startup Weekend. Skyscanner were massively helpful for Startup Weekend. They just get it. It is a fuzzy term, but they just get it. It is unfortunate, but then it's fortunate, and again we've got autonomy to help. Gareth would say, let's do that. There's not a six-week application process with a massive forum, panels, and no, it's just let's help, let's get stuff done. That's what you need in the startup community, particularly on tech. Can't stand still. That's why you guys get it.
So I mean, eSpark has to be a shining example of a great thing for Glasgow's tech community. I'm not saying it's the perfect model. We were speaking earlier off camera about accelerators, the fact that they're getting money at the end of the programme, but to get free space, free mentoring, you know, they're even being fed. I mean, that is a great start. I mean, we haven't come across that on our travels.
And Startup Week, Entrepreneurial Spark, he helped with Startup Weekend. They were a host, as I said. They're guys who are also seeing that things aren't being done right. For them to rock up last October, they announced that we're going to do Entrepreneurial Spark, and in a short time frame, they've got, I think they're pushing 60 companies now. There were 60 companies who weren't getting the support, they weren't getting the help, they didn't have office space or working out of their bedrooms. It's massive positive for Glasgow, and hopefully they'll disrupt the thinking of the likes of, well, some of the people who should be helping, who I personally feel aren't or haven't to me. Yeah, so it's a fantastic thing that Jim and the guys are doing there. And they're now replicating the rope, they're bringing it down to Ayrshire.
Yep, we were there the other day. Fantastic space.
Yeah, I think they really could move it across Scotland, and it could even go wider than that.
I think, you know, as a young Mancunian looking at it, we wish we had the same in Manchester. And I think, you know, maybe after this we will be asking the community, is there a business leader out there, you know, that would back a similar thing? It is only because Jim Duffy's gone to people like Sir Tom Hunter, Willie Hocking, got big entrepreneurs behind the project, philanthropic work at the end of the day, which is a massive asset to Glasgow. What do you think Glasgow needs? What's going to keep you here, Michael? People are watching this. Maybe we've even got the attention of the local agencies that we're talking about, and they're thinking, what do we need to do to keep you here? And many other Michael Hayes, because you are a developer, you know, you've got ideas for companies. You do love Glasgow.
Yeah,
we can get that across. You're not a Glaswegian that doesn't love his city. In a perfect world, Glasgow would keep you in, you'd be happy in. What do you think Glasgow needs to do?
One would be change the weather, see the clouds, but that's a difficult one. But there's a lot of things that could be done, but I think my biggest thing is time. So I'm not going to be getting any younger, and the best time in my mind to go at it is when you're young. I don't think I've got very little commitments. So if I were to move to the States, it would be relatively painless. I don't have children, I'm like a wife, so it's quite easy for me. So time's running out for Glasgow to do it in Scotland, or for that matter in the UK. It's been said, talking to a few folk, that London's 5 years behind the Valley. So if London's 5 years behind the Valley, up here we are 5 years behind London. So yeah, 10 years time. I don't think I can hang about that long.
So alright, what about then if you do, you know, the States does catch you and you're there? What's going to bring you back to Glasgow, barring the fact you're going to want to create that same kind of culture over here?
When I say go to the States, I don't mean forever. What I really love to do is go over there, be successful, and come back and share that. I think, as I said, Scotland has so much talent. We've got a tradition of creating, innovating. I could rhyme off so many things: television, telephone, logarithms, guitar. There's so many different things impacting your life daily that have came from this small country. So we've got a history of it. We've got a great education system from early stage. Everyone's educated well. Our universities are renowned for innovation in the past. Technology we're lacking. I would like to come back and bring a little bit of enthusiasm in Scotland. We're renowned for being a bit Scottish, so we don't like to praise our successes. We like to pinpoint our failures. I'd like to see a wee bit of change in that mindset. So ultimately, I would like to come back, and it sounds quite arrogant and think that I can do it, but I think it's not going to be one person. I think that a lot of people need to pull up their socks and get a change of culture, thinking, and hopefully I can be one person to do that. So I think like, Scotland's fantastic, the UK as well, even Manchester. It's a good place.
Thank you. But I mean, there's a 10-year-old Michael Hayes that's about to go through that journey, and in 10 years' time, he's going to be thinking, do I go to the States? You know, where do I go now? What can the government do here to keep talent in Glasgow and replicate that culture in America? Can it be done?
I see investment money is obviously important, and I think tech, I think there's too much of a focus on it. So I don't think the answer is money. I think it's really the ecosystem and community. And I said the mindset. I think that you just get like Skyscanner and the likes are really they're doing it in Edinburgh. My thing is that Scotland is such a small country. Should we be considering it as Glasgow and Edinburgh? It's traditionally an east-west thing, salt and vinegar or salt and sauce, and it's a 40-minute train journey. And if you travel across London, people do it daily, a daily commute, 40 minutes easily.
Absolutely.
And yet we won't do it to the other side of the country. So the likes of Skyscanner, and they are helping it, they're fostering it, and we'll get there. I do believe that these companies they do get it, are helping. We just need to get more of them, and we're getting there. We will have more of them. It's going to take a wee bit of time.
So perhaps these agencies can be celebrating the successes of Skyscanner and Free Agent.
Yeah, well,
and also cross-collaborating between Glasgow and Edinburgh and Dundee, etc.
A perfect example would be Startup Weekend. Now, I'm not a PR expert, but yeah, it's Sunday night there, 11 companies potentially launched. It was 11 products, 11 companies over a weekend. And I've reached out to press, and I know this is all pretty vanity stuff, but nobody wants to make a shout about it. Nobody would know that over the weekend that happened.
And do you think if all these agencies you're saying are quite, all over the place, do you think if there was one stop for technology agency for Scotland, do you think that like the success of Startup Weekend that's just been would get into the media and be a good thing for Glasgow?
Yeah, perhaps. I think the big thing is it's not the structure. I don't think it's the people. And as I said, Informatics Ventures are a group who totally get it. The people who are there, like Danny Helson, he gave up his weekend there to come to Startup Weekend. He totally gets what it's all about.
Yeah, he does.
And it's having the people, or that's what I'm going to call it, people who are doing it, haven't got what the it that we're talking about is. So I think having people who are, people is key.
And people like yourself going across to the West Coast and coming back to Glasgow is a good thing for Glasgow's future. It shouldn't be disappointed hearing that. It's a bright thing for the future.
I think it should be disappointed, because why do I have to? Why am I? But ultimately, it is a good thing as long as I don't get the bug and stay out there. That's not my intention. I do hope to be back.
Look forward to seeing what happens in the future, Mike.
Cheers.
Thank you very much for your time. Pleasure.